Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Before starting my video, if you didn't subscribe my channel yet, please do, and do not forget to turn on notification as great contents coming every day for you. Okay, before starting our project, let's have a check. Our branch is development. Okay, right click on, where is my add button? Yep, new project, console application, next, YouTube. C sharp interfaces. Okay, let's next create. Perfect. Let's type here interface. Yep. All right. Before starting giving examples to you, I would like to talk a little bit theoretically, and these interfaces are really similar to abstract classes, by the way. And I'm going to share my own opinions as well about explaining between differences and similarities between abstract classes and interfaces. Okay, first of all, we can say interfaces are abstract data types. Let's type it. Abstract data types. Okay, and similarity, and difference. Let's say similarity with abstract classes. What is the differences then? If you remember, we have signature of our um, methods and properties in abstract class, and once we use inheritance, this abstract class force the derived class to override them. Interfaces take that feature, only take that feature, and forces derived class to define them, not overriding them, define them. Okay, I'm gonna show you step by step. Let's type here uses signature of methods and properties without access modifier. We not define any public, private, anything for our signatures. Okay. Well, let's continue. As always, inheritance is a must. You cannot use interfaces without inheritance. Inheritance is a must. Okay, perfect. Let me have a look my load notes. Okay, let's create our first interfaces. To do that, use interface keyword and say give a name, for example, test, curly brackets, and your first interface is ready. But before that, before continue, there is a best practice and name, how can I say, while we giving our names for the interfaces, there is a best practice. We always use prefix I, and it represents it's an interface. Just imagine someone who is living in China, or someone living here is in I couldn't talk. Someone who is living in North Pole, for example, 95% they're going to understand this is an interface when see the naming I test starting with I. This is the best practice. I suggest you to use I prefix while you're creating your interfaces. Okay, let's go back now. Now I'm going to create a class test. Perfect. Now I'm going to create some methods for my class test. Okay, let's type here void method, and I'm going to use inheritance now, I test is going to be base class. Test is going to be derived class. Okay. As you can see, it's asking us our implement interface, same as abstract class. Click on the bulb and implement interface. As you can see, there is no override keyword here. You are defining the body of method. So I'm gonna define it now. Test has been done. All right. There is another feature here. We cannot create new object from an interface, but we can use polymorphism rules to create one. So how is that working? All right, let's try to create an object from an interface. I test. Let's give a name test, new test. We're going to get an error if I say I test. Why? Let's have a look. Cannot create an instance of the abstract type of interface. It's the same result why we couldn't create a new object from an abstract class. So even if you're able to do it, what's gonna do with the empty method? So it's going to be useless. So it's forbidden to create a new one. So that's why we are able to create from our derived class. So when it comes to the test dot, we're able to see our method here. Let's set as a startup project. Where is my, yep, and let's run our project. As you can see, test has been done. All right. The best part of the interface is we can use inheritance more than one time. Inheritance can be used many times. Okay, so I'm going to create another interface now. I new test. Let's say void new method. Now to implement this interface, use the comma and type your new interfaces, and it's going to ask you to implement your interface. As you can see, it's here now. Let's type our body. New test has been done. But there is a thing here. If you would like to reach your inewTest interface, you need to create object from it. Test dot, as you can see, there is no new method. So we need to create an new test. Let's say new test, and we're going to create a test class again. Once we call new test to bring our new method, we're able to reach our interface method from here. Perfect. Let's see the result. New test has been done. The best thing of using interfaces while you using interfaces method, you can able to change your definition of methods, and your, how can I say, your application doesn't understand what you're doing inside of your method. For example, this is a test, right? So what if I would like to change the definition of my iTest method. Only thing I need to do is change the body of the method, right? Instead of test has been done, test is still running. So I'm not gonna touch my interface. I'm not gonna touch my signature of method. I'm not gonna touch anything here. Only thing I need to do is define the body of method somewhere else. Let's see the method and it's going to change. Test is still running. All right, perfect. I'm gonna ask a question. Can we use a class to inheritance our derived class? There is a one way to understand it. Let's create a class now. It is a normal class, and we have, let's say, we have a public method here. Void method normal, which has a body, obviously. Console write line. I am normal class. Okay. To do that, guys, you have to come exactly in front of the interfaces, type your class name, put a comma between the interfaces. Now we able to, if we create a new test, sorry, it's my bad. Let's test all methods, new test, and as you can see, we able to reach all methods located in our test. Also, we able to reach our normal class method as well. Let's have a look. Oops, where I clicked. Normal method normal. Okay, let's see the result now. I'm normal class. Can I add one more class? Let's try this one. This time I'm going to a second class, create a second class. I'm not gonna define anything because it's not gonna work anyway. Second class, put a comma. We got an error message. Class test cannot have multiple base classes. Normal class and second class. The compiler asked me to choose one. You cannot add two different classes, so I'm gonna delete it. As a result, be able to use one class and infinity interfaces while we're using inheritance, okay, as a base class, basically. Perfect. Let me have a look. Is there anything should I tell you about interfaces and classes? By the way, if you try to add your class after interfaces, it won't be possible. Going to get an error again. Let's have a look. Base class must become before any interfaces. This is the rule, another rule. You have to use classes before the interfaces if you would like to use as an inheritance. All right. Let me have a look. Is there anything should I tell you? Interfaces. Okay. I'm going to make comment this line, this examples. Now I'm going to show you another sample. Let's type an interface again. I'm going to use the symbolic names, okay? Interface, this is I, let's say I int 1, void x, void y, and void z. I'm gonna copy this interface again, and I'm gonna change the the name and values. I'm going to X again, and it's going to be M and N. Perfect. Let's create a class now. Class A and I interface 1, I interface 2. Perfect. To show you, I'm going to make smaller my tooltip because it's prevents to show you. Oh, it's showing. Perfect. It's working because the name of methods is smaller than the previous ones. I'm able to see the tooltips exactly how it's look like. Okay, let's implement interfaces. As you can see, they are implemented void x, y, z. And let's implement the second one. When you come here, yep, you can um, use bulb. Also, you can use your keyboard pressing by control dot and implement interface. Now let's have a look. We have x, y, z from our interface 1, and we have only m, n from interface 2. Why we have just one x here? Because as you can see, there is two reference. So my class using void x signature um, 2 times here. Actually, just implement just one void x, and the rest of the other void x is hidden. So we can say this one, it's a kind of hiding error, right? We can prevent this. To prevent this action, let me delete them all first. To prevent this action, we supposed to use implement all members explicitly. What does that mean? Let me show you. Once I click that one, the access modifiers are gone, but all methods defined by where they come from. Let's add the second one. Implement all members explicitly. Now we have our void x method with integer coming from integer 2, interface 2, and we have another x coming from interface 1. But there is a problem. We don't have any, as you can see here, we don't have any access modifiers. They are not public. How are we able to reach them? Let's try to reach them now. Let's type a test new a. Once I try to reach my test object, I'm not able to reach them all. Anyway, any circumstances because they are not public. So how can I reach them? I'm going to use polymorphism, and I'm going to create a reference from my interface, and I'm going to assign the object of my class. So now I'm able to reach my methods x, y, z. If you have a common methods in your separate interfaces, you can use explicitly implement, and you can use the polymorphism rules to bring your interface methods, and you can reach them. By the way, it doesn't mean they are private if there is no access modifier. In interface, there is no access modifier. Even if nothing here, it's not hid. It doesn't mean it's hidden. Okay? I want you to understand this perfectly. It's really important for the interfaces. Okay. Perfect. I think I'm done with the interfaces. I'm just checking my notes again. Okay, I'm going to finish this lesson here. I assume you understand every detail about interfaces. I'm not gonna fill the methods because we did the abstract classes at the same thing, our previous lesson. Um, for the future projects, and you will understand much more easily while we are using in our living project. Okay, let me commit my changes as interfaces. Interface lessons. We are in development. Let's commit all. Save and commit. All right. Let me go my branches. Switch to domain. Right click on dev. Merge dev into domain. Okay, there is no conflict. Perfect. Let me check my all branches, how they look like. As you can see, I add some lessons to my commit tree. If you would like to reach those commits, just activate the branch and see the changes, what I've done. But if it comes to the video order, you will see everything in order. Don't worry about it. Okay, guys, I'm going to finish this lesson here. If you crash the like button, I will be appreciated. It really motivates me. And if you have any question about the subject, do not hesitate to drop comment below the video. Take care of yourself, guys. See you later next lesson. Bye bye.